Oh boy, having more fun than a Pentecostal should be allowed. All right, listen, I want you to know something about this Hunter Biden laptop story that's coming out, and that is that I can't understand why the heck there isn't more outrage over the fact that William Barr and the FBI had the Hunter Biden laptop in their possession in 2019 and watched the president of the United States and literally the presidency itself twisting in the agonizing ordeal of a lynching over a Ukraine call when they had the information on Hunter. When this thing comes out, I want to see the FBI have to account with Christopher Wray and their forensic team and the 49 so-called intelligence experts who signed the Brennan Clapper Comey type document verifying that they couldn't verify if it wasn't Russian. This is the FBI, my God. You have a document for a year and can't figure out what's going on? Well, it only took a week or two from a phone call with Ukraine to figure out that it was bad. What makes me mad about this is it's not just lawlessness. It's lawlessness with massive global consequences that are destroying the world right now. Because if Trump had not had his hands tied while he was in office, he wouldn't have ended up with a Congress, a Mueller investigation, 2 impeachments. Look at what he accomplished, even in the face of all that adversity. Well, Jack Maxi, and you kind of like we're pointing out, Mercedes always liked Jack Maxi. He'd be there on the War Room there, and she always enjoyed listening to Jack. And
he was my favorite.
Well, okay, so when he left, it was kind of like, what happened to Jack? And I go, I don't know. I don't have connections, can't find out. But he went full tilt boogie on this. I'm finding out about the laptop, doing an investigation.
Yeah, the laptop. So the guy who had the laptop right at the tech store gave it to Rudy Giuliani, and Giuliani gave it to Jack Maxi. So he's gone off and he's uncovered really not just what was on the hard drive, but he's got like a team of like tech nerd guru guys that are working for him, and they found in the deleted area, right? So he thought it, like Hunter thought all this stuff was deleted, but they were able to recover like just tons of images, tons of videos, things that they thought was deleted that they're not. And so he's going to release it all over the next couple of weeks here. I think he's going to put them all online. So it's really fascinating. It's a great article.
And thank God he's working with Daily Mail. Mm-hmm. Because, you could look, Giuliani had this and he couldn't get it. They laughed at him. Yeah. And thank God for the New York Post. One paper had the courage.
Oh, and Jack gave the Daily Mail a whole hard drive, duplicated what was on Hunter's laptop and gave it to him.
The DailyMail.com commissioned cyber forensic experts at Merriman and Associates to examine that hard drive for its authenticity. The firm's founder, Brad Merriman, was a 29-year-old veteran of the FBI. I'm sorry, not 29-year-old, a 29-year veteran. Big difference. 29-year veteran of the FBI, served as a chief information security officer, and founded the Bureau's cyber forensic unit. Do you think he might have a little kind of qualifications? And then his partner, not just him, his partner, Dr. Joseph Greenfield, is an associate professor at the University of Southern California and helped write their degree program, get this, on intelligence and cyber operations. Well, here's what they came up with, people. They found, for criminal investigation, 103,000 text messages, 154,000 emails, and more than 2,000 photographs, which I'm assuming were just all salacious photographs, had nothing to do with, business. They found the emails from multiple accounts on the laptop dating back to 2009 and other data which appears to be related to Mr. Biden between 2016 and 2019. So when I talk about the root and the fruit, what I'm trying to tell you is, something's cooking when the New York Times comes out and says, well, maybe we made a mistake on that. And now you're watching like Good Morning Joe and Axios. They're all having their, well, how could this happen? Like everybody who was shooting down the Hunter Biden laptop theory as though it was legitimate. With just like you see why Rachel Maddow quit. She could see what's coming even better than Deutsche Bank could see a recession coming. She saw it coming and she took off. Jen Psaki probably is looking at the Biden situation going, I'm out of here now. This is going to be big, people. Now, Jack Maxi, actually, I'm assuming he did the deep dive, Mercedes, on providing and authenticating and championing this, where Giuliani had to hand off the ball in fatigue and say, I'm just, too damaged.
Oh,
He
yeah.
took it and ran.
No, 100%. I mean, at this point, even CNN has come out and said that this is, in fact, an authentic laptop and it belonged to Hunter Biden. I will never understand why was it left in a computer tech store? I mean, like, what a you remember how you talk about like things are like a story and it seems like a simulation? I mean, what a wild... I mean, like if he hadn't left it in the tech store, wouldn't have been turned over. The guy tried to call him. He never came back and got it. I mean, it's like the craziest story narrative ever. Like if you can make a movie about it. It's that wild.
You know what I wish we had? I wish we had somebody, and maybe Hunter can do it. One episode of Hunter has the power of old school media to take down the giants. It's like a slingshot. He needs to expose John Kerry because Biden and Kerry are two peas in a pod in government. And since Kerry is doing so much damage to the United States with his Paris Global Climate Accords, his destruction of the energy sector and the economy of the United States and Germany, I really think that he should be exposed because Hunter Biden and John Kerry's son were business partners. They both benefited from their father's deal-making around the world. The sons cashed in on it. And how many government policies were shaped in order to accommodate private financial deals at a high level with these politicians? That's the part, not the fact that the kid could get, land a contract because somebody liked, thought maybe they could influence, but if there is a policy connection between promoting Ukraine and membership in NATO and having your pockets lined, and China. Here's the other story. China talks down to Biden. We heard Jack Posobiec, only in the war room, by the way, to hear some of this stuff. Posobiec said, if you listen to the actual conversation between President Xi and Joe Biden, you don't hear what Washington talks about. Joe Biden clarifying there'll be consequences if China supports Russia, blah, blah, blah. You didn't hear that at all. The actual transcript and the actual conversation is President Xi dressing down and telling Biden where things are going and what's happening because America is a vassal state. We're already under the principality that runs China. It just hasn't had its full, manifestation yet. And it makes sense. When I saw the masking, when I saw the distancing, when I saw churches shut down, when I saw martial law, when I took a look at Trudeau and his style of government, after Biden's administration said, you better move and get this situation sorted out because it's over on our bridge, Ambassador Bridge, going into Detroit and into Windsor. You know what? We watch this China spirit. I know it sounds a little bit way out for you, but to me, the globe is different dimensions. And the only thing that can push back on it is a populist awakening and a spiritual awakening, because these are strong devils.
Yeah.
And I see the evidence of both. That's the good news.
There is so much more waiting for you over at lancewallnau.com/podcast. This was only an excerpt. This isn't the whole episode. There's so much over there. Be sure you go check it out. lancewallnau.com/podcast. See you.